Amini. I'm a CEO and founder of the Risklick company that we are building a solution with artificial intelligence and machine learning to help scientists to find the evidence and then facilitate the research. I don't know why it's, I'm really sorry for that. Because this is, I need to cancel every. Yeah, as you know, that the research today is getting more complex in a different aspect. I mean, we are generating more data and the data are more complex, and the regulation is also getting more complex, and also the multiplication of the standards. In all the aspects, the data are getting more complex, and getting relevant data out of this complex data is getting more and more difficult. And yeah, this is artificial intelligence, as you know, is booming. And the artificial intelligence is a technology that can help us to use this raw data and better analyze the data that the human basically either cannot cope with the amount of data, or can do it, but is really time consuming for the human to do. Therefore, the artificial intelligence is a solution that can help in that regard, either to make sense of the big data or integrate big data, or reduce the time, save time for the researcher in that specific application. As you know, that especially regarding the COVID, there is an explosion of the data. That we are generating a lot of data, and we don't use all this data, of course. And now the ability to find and gather the relevant information is a key question. With that, how we capture the most important information or the relevant information for our research from this huge amount of data in a short time is a golden standard for successful research. Not to waste a lot of time to find the information, and at the same time find the relevant information on a timely manner that is important for our research. And this is also recognized by the industry very well, that lots of big companies are now using the artificial intelligence to facilitate their work process, and also increase the productivity of the R&D, because as you know, the R&D and productivity in the pharma industry is going down, and the R&D costs are going up. The artificial intelligence is a technology that has the potential to help for increasing the productivity and decreasing the costs of the drug development, and can be used in a different area from the drug development, from the drug discovery, development phase, clinical trial phase, and even the business stage. Here, I would like to show you one example that we use the artificial intelligence for the management of the COVID-19 scientific evidence, because as you all know, that there was an explosion of the data during the COVID, and still there is a lot of data published every day. And there was a time that more than 400 articles were publishing on the COVID-19 every day. And the number of the literature were doubling every 20 days, as well as the clinical trials that were doubling every 30 days. That it was among the biggest explosion of the scientific literature ever. And At the same time, it was a tremendous need from the researcher and decision makers to have access to this scientific information and relevant information in a short time, because we were all busy and didn't have time that every day spend a lot of time to do a comprehensive search in all the sources of the data to find and collect all the information that are important for us and monitor that. Therefore, we started to build this tool. Of course, this is our website. You can still get a free access to our tool. Feel free. And if you have any question, you can contact our support there. They will help you. How we did that? First, let's look at the architecture of the tool, because these data were really scattered on a different platforms. And that was the biggest challenge at the beginning, to gather this information in one database and unify the format. Because if you wanted to really know what's going on around the world, you have to search in an 18 clinical trial registry, several source of publication and so on, to have a really a comprehensive overview. And it's really easy to miss this information if you don't do a comprehensive search. And I think this has happened to a lot of us, that during our research, we realized, okay, we've missed one publication that would be very beneficial for us if we could find this article earlier. And then what we did with the artificial intelligence, we collect this data in one database, then we pre-process the data and use the natural language processing technology, which works with the semantic concept of the text, to organize this data and make the data searchable. And then once the researcher enter a question, then this technology can find all the relevant information to that specific topic. That's the same technology as the Google, that when once you search in a Google, if you search, for example, for a term, that it doesn't only bring you only the document that they have that word, also the document that has the synonym word and all similar content. It's the same technology. And then visualize it for the researcher that they can monitor it in a live manner. And we validated our tool by benchmarking the biggest clinical trial registry, which is the clinicaltrial.gov, and a tool that's developed by researchers in Canada, covidtrial.org, as well as comparing with the PubMed for publications. As you can see here, with a query like antiviral, anticoagulant, antibiotic, the drug category, we could find more than clinicaltrial.gov. And the reason is simple, because if you search in a clinicaltrial.gov, you search for the antiviral, you only search for the trial that they have the antiviral word in the text of the intervention. But with our technology, this antiviral also can expand to all the drugs that are in the category of the antiviral. Means that even if they don't mention the antiviral word in their text, the system is able to catch them, because understand that the remdesivir is a type of the antiviral drug and catch this information. That's why we can find more relevant trial. And even with a specific intervention or a specific drug like a hydroxychloroquine, we can find more. And the reason is that we can, this technology can expand the name of the drug to all the trade names, all the synonyms, while when you search for hydroxychloroquine, it only find the document in a clinicaltrial.gov that has this word in it. It's not only about the number of the publication that we can find more, it's about that more relevant publication, because this technology, as you can also experience with the Google, always the first page is the more relevant documents, because this artificial intelligence technology can categorize or rank the publication based on the proximity of your search. And this is the same technology that we are using here, that we could rank the result based on the relevant to the question. That's why even we analyzed the records that we differ from the clinicaltrial.gov, we could find more relevant trials compared to the clinicaltrial.gov. Therefore, it's a more, in one point you find it's more comprehensive. In other hand, is more specific and can rank the result based on the relevance. And this is, we validated, and this is basically the whole result. This is the average of the result, that we had a better precision compared to clinicaltrial.gov, and better recall and better F1 score, which is the harmonic mean of the recall and precision. And compared to PubMed, we had a better performance. As I said, in a PubMed, just for you to know, they also use a technology that's a mesh term, but it also takes time until they annotate the publication to the mesh term. That's why in this term with the NLP technology, it's also advantage. There is less manual work, and then faster you find this information. And here is just some use case that to show you that, of course, the advantage would be that it is a less false positive, more unique outcome, and overall better screening search for the publication and trial. In general, the advantage of such a tool which is applicable for all area is not specific for COVID, because the underlying technology is really general and can be applicable to any kind of disease. For example, mesenchymal stem cells. We have another project with the influenza and other diseases that can be really be a specific database for a specific disease. The advantage would be that all scientific evidence are on one platform. It's easy to tailor a data set for analysis, and we can do a real-time monitoring of the publication and trial related to the research topic. Basically, if you are interested in a spike protein in the COVID-19, you will receive all this trial, let's say, the publication that is relevant for your research automatically on your desktop. It's easy because it's an automated process. And as I said, for now, we have all the COVID-19, SARS, MERS, influenza data in one platform, but is in a separate database because it's more specific and it's less noise. This was a multidisciplinary work from the epidemiologists, clinical trial experts, data scientists from different organizations, clinical trial units, Bern, Institute of the Preventive Medicine, Bern, Risklick company, which is a spin-off of company of University Bern, and then HESO Geneva. Thank you very much for your attention, and happy to answer questions.
Thank you very much, Dr. Poorya, Amini, for the wonderful presentation. Now, the session is open for questions. Does anyone have questions, please? Any questions for Dr. Amini? You can write in the chat box.